you have been keeping up with Dallas, Texas real estate, you'll notice that Dallas ranks #2 in the nation for new construction home activity. And that doesn't even include the thousands of new builder permits that are currently in the pipeline. And lately, purchasing new construction homes seems to come with some hefty and enticing incentives. And so if you're thinking about buying a brand new construction home, this video could save you thousands of dollars if you watch it all the way through, and potentially keeping you from making some expensive mistakes. Because here's what a lot of buyers don't realize is that builder sales reps, they're not your agent. I mean, they may be friendly, they may be helpful, they may walk you through the model home, show you the design center, talk about incentives, rate buy downs, closing costs, upgrades, all of that. But guys, at the end of the day, they are a sales rep. And even if you think that you're getting the farm, it's important to remember that they still represent the builder and you still represent you, unless of course you're coming with representation. And if you're moving from out of state, especially from places like California, New York, Illinois, Washington, or anywhere with a totally different housing market, buying new construction in Dallas can feel very different than buying a resale home. And so in this video, guys, I'm breaking down and walking you through the biggest things that you need to know before buying a new construction home in Dallas. Builders, you'll see most, the incentives, you need to understand where people are buying, what you can actually negotiate, and why having your own agent can make a huge difference. What's going on, guys? I'm Daniel. I'm a realtor here in the Dallas area and with the Jenkins Realty Group, and I help families to relocate to Texas and find the best areas to move based on their goals, their budget, their lifestyle, commute, and long-term plans. And so if you're thinking about making that move, buying new construction, or just trying to figure out which neighborhoods actually make the most sense for your family, my contact information is in the description below, or you can download my free relocation guide that breaks down every city here in DFW and help you make the most sense of what direction that you and your family should take. And so now let's get into what you need to know before buying a new construction home here in Dallas. So first things first, when people say new construction in Dallas, most of the time they're not talking about the city of Dallas itself. They're usually talking about the greater Dallas Fort Worth suburbs. And the reason why that is because that's where the land is. I mean, inside the city of Dallas, new construction is usually going to be more expensive, more limited, and often more urban. So townhomes, infill homes, luxury homes, or smaller lot communities. But if you're relocating and looking for that classic Texas new construction lifestyle, newer schools, bigger homes, master plan communities, trails, pools, parks, amenity centers, and homes in the 300,000 to 500,000s, you're usually going to be looking outside of the city core. And that is where a lot of relocators make their first mistake. They search for online Dallas new construction, and they find a beautiful home for $399, and they think, wow, this is absolutely perfect, but they don't realize it's 45 to 60 minutes from where they work, where they go to church, where their family lives, or where they actually want to spend all of their weekends. And so before you fall in love with a floor plan, you should understand the area first. So the home, it's only one piece of the decision. The bigger question is does the location actually fit your lifestyle? And so once you've narrowed down the areas that actually make sense for your commute, your lifestyle, and your budget, the next question I get from almost every relocating buyers is, which builder should I be looking at? Because there are a ton of them right now, let me tell you, and they're all offering different incentives. So let me break down who the major players are and what you can expect from each. So according to Builder Magazine's 2025 Dallas Fort Worth Local Leaders List, the top builders in 2024 include D.R. Horton, Lennar, Green Brick Partners, Highland Homes, and Bloomfield Homes. I mean, D.R. Horton alone did 8,000 closings in DFW, and Lennar did over 5,500. But you're also going to see builders like Meritage Homes, Pulte, First Texas Homes, Ashton Woods, Perry Homes, David Weekley, Toll Brothers, MI Homes, and others depending on the specific community and price point. Now, here's how I'd simplify this for a buyer. So you're generally going to have three categories. You're going to have more of the production-oriented builders like D.R. Horton, Lennar, Meritage, and sometimes Pulte. And the main focus for these builders is going to be on volume, affordability, efficiency, move-in ready inventory. And that doesn't mean that they're bad by any means. It just means you need to understand what you're buying, what's included, what's optional, and how their process works. Secondly, you're going to have the mid to upper tier like Highland Homes, Perry Homes, David Weekley, Bloomfield, Shattuck, Coventry, depending upon the area. And these builders, they're going to offer more design flexibility, better architectural variety, upgrades, or stronger reputations in certain communities, right? And then third and finally is you have luxury or semi-custom builders like Toll Brothers and other high-end builders where the price point, lot premiums, and upgrades can be very different in cost. And so the key is that, there's no one builder. The best builder is going to depend on your budget, timeline, your community, your tolerance for upgrades, your floor plan needs, and how long you plan to live in the home. So, a builder that's buying their first home at $350,000, I may not recommend the same builder for someone who's buying a $750,000 home in a master plan community. But regardless of which builder you end up working with, there's one thing that comes up in almost every single conversation with new builds, and that is the incentives. And this is honestly the biggest reason why people are looking at new construction right now. And so let me explain what's really going on with builder incentives and what you need to watch out for. So first of all, builder incentives can be very real. I mean, builders may offer things like rate buydowns, closing cost credits, design center credits, appliance packages, blinds, refrigerators, washer and dryer packages, reduced pricing on inventory homes, flex cash, or money toward upgrades. And in some cases, these incentives can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, but here's the part buyers need to understand. Incentives are not always the same as a price reduction. I mean, a builder may not want to reduce the official sales price because that can affect neighborhood comps, appraisals, and future values in a community. But instead, they're going to offer incentives to help make the monthly payment more attractive without officially lowering that base price. And builders often use rate buydowns and closing cost credits to help buyers qualify while protecting the perceived value of the home. And that's not necessarily a bad thing again, but you need to know what you're actually getting. For example, right? Oftentimes builders advertise very low rates, but typically the rate only applies if you use the builder's preferred lender, or it may be a temporary buydown applying to certain homes, or it may require a specific closing date. It may be tied to inventory homes only, or the advertised payment may not fully reflect property taxes, HOA dues, PID taxes, insurance, and the payment after the buydown will expire. But also when buying a new construction home, the preferred lender may quote a lower default insurance rate that will increase after 2 to 3 years just due to depreciation. And so just because the initial price looks good, remember that it won't stay that way for long. That's where a good agent is going to help you slow down and really compare the real numbers. Speaking of getting good deals, if you're really trying to maximize your value on new construction, there's a specific type of home where you're usually going to find the best incentives. And if you're flexible on timing, this is something that you definitely need to understand. An inventory home is a home that the builder has already started or completed. And sometimes it's called a quick move-in home, spec home, or move-in ready home. And these are often where the best incentives are. And the reason why is because the builder has money that's tied up in that house currently. Construction costs, carrying costs, lender obligations, community sales goals, and sometimes quarterly or year-end numbers that they are trying to hit. So a dirt start home, meaning you pick the lot, pick the floor plan, go to the design center and build from scratch, it's going to give you more customization but less negotiation leverage since it's not costing as much to hold it. So an inventory home, while it's not going to be perfect, it may not get you every finish and design you want, the builder wants it sold, and that's where you can have more aggressive negotiation. If you are relocating to Dallas and you have a flexible timeline, one strategy is to compare communities with standing inventory. Sometimes the best deal, guys, it's not the prettiest model home that you saw online, but the home that's been sitting for 60 to 120 days and the builder needs it off their books. This brings up a question though that I hear all the time from buyers, and that is, can you even negotiate with a builder? A lot of buyers think, well, the builder has a price listed online, so that's the price. Not always. Builders are businesses and their goal is to sell homes while protecting the value of the community. Sometimes they will negotiate price, and other times they'll, give you closing cost credits. Sometimes they'll buy down your rate. Other times they'll throw in upgrades or pay for title policy, include appliances, blinds, gutters, or a refrigerator. Maybe they'll give you more incentive if you use their lender and title company, and usually they'll negotiate harder at the end of the month, end of the quarter, or end of the year, but every builder is going to be different. And so a builder with 30 inventory homes in one neighborhood is going to negotiate very differently than a builder with 2 homes left in a high demand community. And so here's what I'm looking at when I'm helping helping, buyers negotiate. How many homes does the builder have available right now? How long has the specific home been sitting? Is the community almost sold out? What does the real estate market look like around that community, or the resale market? Are there mud or PID taxes that are affecting the monthly payment? How aggressive is the builder's preferred lender right now? What is the true monthly payment after taxes, insurance, HOA, and incentives? And again, preliminary numbers change once you actually apply for the loan based on your credit and things of that nature. Now, when you do start visiting those model homes, and you will, because honestly, that's one of the parts of the process that there's just something really fun about it. There's something I have to warn you about, guys, and that is that model homes, they're very dangerous. And here's why. You walk in and it smells amazing. I mean, the furniture is perfect, the lighting is perfect, the office is staged perfectly and beautifully. The kids' rooms look like a Pinterest board, right? The kitchen has upgraded countertops, upgraded cabinets, backsplashes, flooring, fixtures, upgraded everything, right? And the buyers fall in love, which is, by the way, the whole point of the model home. But the model home, it's usually not the base home. It's often loaded with upgrades galore. So one of the questions you need to understand is what is in the model home that's included and what's an upgrade. Very important distinction here, guys, because guess what? That beautiful $450,000 model home might be $450,000 with $90,000 in upgrades, and that matters. So especially if you're relocating from out of state and you're trying to compare builders online. A builder may appear cheaper, but once you add the structural options, lot premium, design upgrades, elevation, flooring, countertops, and lighting, I mean, the final price is going to be a lot higher than you expected. And this is why I always want buyers to compare the real final price, not just the base price. And on that note, not every upgrade is worth getting from the builder. I mean, most of the upgrades, you can do yourself for hundreds or thousands of dollars less, like cabinet pools or faucets. I mean, I walk my clients through knowing which upgrades are worth getting. And again, base price is just the starting point. The final price is what matters. And what most matters is your monthly payment here. And this is a big one in Texas. A lot of relocating buyers, they come here really excited because Texas has no state income tax, and that's true, but Texas property taxes can be higher than what some buyers are used to. And in new construction communities, you may also see things like mud taxes or PID assessments. And in simple terms, these are just ways that communities help pay for infrastructure, utilities, drainage, community improvements. They're not bad by any means. In fact, many beautiful master plan communities have them, but they do affect your monthly payment, and some can be significant. And so one home could have a lower or higher tax rate, and one could have HOA dues or PID assessments. And this is why you just got to shop new construction, not based on price alone, but you need to shop it based on your total monthly payment, long-term cost, location, resale potential, commute, and community quality. And so one of the, so a lot of this ties together in incentives, rate buy downs, and closing costs is the builder's preferred lender. And I want to give you some honest perspective on this because I see buyers get confused here all the time. A lot of builders, offer their best incentives only to use their preferred lender. And that can be a good thing, but sometimes the builder's lender can offer a stronger rate, closing costs help, or a buy down that another lender simply can't match. But that doesn't mean that you should blindly accept it. You should still shop it around and compare it. Because the interest rate is only one piece of the deal, you also need to look at things like lender fees, discount points, APR, title fees, closing costs, escrow, prepaid taxes, insurance, and what your payment looks like after any temporary buy down expires. The builder's lender might be the best option, but you won't know until you compare it. And if you have an outside quote, sometimes that gives you leverage as well. You can always go back to the builder's lender and say, hey, here's what another lender is offering. Can you go ahead and match this? Can you improve this? Can we restructure the incentive, right? That's how you negotiate intelligently. So we've talked about location, builders, incentives, inventory homes, negotiations, and taxes and financing, but there's one more assumption I hear from buyers all the time that I really need to address. and it's about the long-term value of new construction. You see, a lot of buyers, they assume that new construction automatically appreciates more, and that's just not the case. New construction can be a great long-term play if you buy in the right area, in the right community with strong future demand. But you have to be careful. If you buy in a community where a builder is still selling new homes for the next, like say 2-3 years, and then you need to sell after 1 year, you may be competing against the builder. And this is huge and happening actually right now in a neighborhood in Dallas where there's 5,000 plus homes of the same builder. Homeowners right now are struggling to sell their home for more than what they bought it for in 2021 because the builder is currently slashing prices $20,000 to $30,000 just to move inventory. And so buyers are able to buy brand new homes from the builder for less than a resale. And builders typically have deeper pockets. They can offer things like rate buy downs, closing cost credits, warranties, quick move-in inventory. And so if you buy new construction and plan to sell quickly, you need to be very careful. Your advantage comes when you buy in a growing area, hold long enough for the community to mature, let the builder sell out and benefit from the surrounding development. I'm talking schools, roads, retail, restaurants, parks, jobs, and population growth. That's why I like to look at the bigger picture. What's being built nearby? Are schools improving? Are major employers moving in? Is retail following rooftops? Are roads being expanded? Because the home matters, but the area is what drives that long-term value. And this brings me to my last and honestly one of my most important things that I want to leave you with in this video. The builder has representation and you should too. A good agent's going to help you compare builders, compare communities, understand incentives, evaluate resale potential, negotiate terms, review the contract, coordinate inspections, communicate with the builder and help you avoid emotional decision making. And in most cases, using a buyer's agent doesn't cost you anything. The builder has already priced the home with marketing and sales costs in mind. But if you walk in without representation, that does not automatically mean the builder gives you a discount. So instead of going in alone, you can have someone on your side helping you ask better questions, compare the real numbers, and avoid costly mistakes. As your realtor, I have a fiduciary duty to put your financial interests before anyone else's, and the sales reps at the new construction home knows that. So therefore, you have a lot more bargaining power with representation than without. So buying a new construction is not just picking a pretty house. It's understanding the fine print, the builder, the contract, the incentives, the financing, the taxes, the neighborhood, the inspection process, the timeline, and the long-term value. And so if you're thinking about buying a new construction home in Dallas, Texas, here's my advice. Don't start with the builder. Again, they're pushing their product. They're in sales, but it's best to start with strategy. Figure out your budget, your monthly payment, your commute, your lifestyle, your must-haves, your timeline, and the areas that actually fit your life. Then compare the builders and incentives with those areas. And if you're looking for expert guidance, guys, on doing this, my team and I, we would love to help make this move to Dallas as smooth, informed, and strategic as possible. My phone number, email, contact information is all in the description. And if you found this video helpful, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I post new videos every Tuesday about Dallas neighborhoods, lifestyle, construction communities, market updates, and what you need to know before making that move to Dallas. So I'll see you guys in the next video.